Welcome. Hello, everybody from all over the world. Today is a very auspicious day because of Saturn and Jupiter having a picnic in the sky together. Or simply because we choose that today is auspicious, sacred. That's the way that I feel when I come here. This week, this past week has been so full of um, incredible sharing and expressions of love and devotion, God, grace. And it just fills me. It just fills me and draws out this magnificent love and in each and every one of you and your cats or dogs. Um, you all inspire me. My heart just wants to explode when I come here. I want to embrace all of you and touch my forehead to your forehead and just share a really sweet, sacred moment with you. I'm very grateful to have you all here today. I could talk about the mind, the body, the spirit, the absolute, the usual characters in the spiritual story. I could try to convince you that your story is imprisoning you, or I could try to give you a new story that might help you out of the stories that you're in, or it could just trap you in a new story. This is the trouble with talking about this sort of thing. These words that I speak are never going to even scratch the surface of the profound depths of who we are and where we fit in this universe. But what they can do is inspire you, just like all of you inspire me. They can inspire you to feel deeper and to relax, to recognize the depth of life in every moment, the beauty in every moment, every breath. And we're born into this world naked, not only naked of clothes, but naked of concepts, naked of preconceived notions about the world. And as we grow, we are given clothes to put on, like our underwear of religious belief, or our tight pants of our social status, our sweater of family history. But these clothes can be quite constricting. And yes, it is true that we're all naked underneath our clothes. We're already there. We already made it. But there is still sometimes the discomfort of these clothes. Sometimes these clothes don't fit us anymore. And it might take some effort to become naked again, to set our heart free, to not guard ourselves against the sharpness and the hardness of the world, but to let our softness emanate from us, to love other beings, to be kind. And I'll tell you that you can put these clothes back on if you want. Nothing has to be forever. But once this nudity, this rawness of being has been felt, I don't imagine that you'd willingly wrap yourself up again. So how do we do this? How do we come back to the basic element of our life here, of our existence? I don't really know. There's many methods, I'm sure. Some have been around for thousands of years, yet still every person puts on their clothes differently and takes off their clothes differently. I could see the Marcus liking this metaphor. There are people that we meet in our lives or who we come into contact with through reading books about them or stories, hearing stories about them, like Buddha or Jesus. And in some way, even if they've been dead for 2,000 years, in some way they light up our soul or something. They bring something inside of us to life. Something within us resonates with who they were, with what they did, what they stood for, what they died for. I'm feeling it right now, just from speaking of Buddha or Jesus. For some people, it may be Nisargadatta or Ramana Maharshi or Muji or even their grandmother, their spouse, their cat, their spiritual family at satsang. For me, this feeling is invoked by many, many different things, different people, different words, different stories. And somehow it recognizes something of itself, something that it craves, something that it wants me to feel. In the same way that I deeply wish happiness and peace and love to each and every one of you. This feeling wishes the same for me. And sometimes I can be afraid, afraid of what it asks me to do, afraid of my own softness or vulnerability. But sometimes fear is the best compass. Sometimes the fear within us is showing us where there's an obstruction, something that is contorting us, bringing tension to us, stopping us from being able to sink into ourselves and be authentically alive, unapologetically. So if it is a word like grace that inspires you, then speak the word grace often and feel what it invokes in you. Let that feeling rise and dance inside of you. And when it settles again, repeat the word grace, grace. Move through your day with as much grace as you possibly can, with soft and graceful movements, as if you are dancing, just like the feeling inside of you, as if you are softly caressing, massaging everything that you touch. Become like the feeling. I feel like I'm floating right now. Hold nothing back. If you feel love, Hold nothing back. Give your whole heart, your whole attention. If you feel joy, bliss, hold nothing back. Dance and laugh hysterically to the sky. Simply because you feel like doing so. Don't hold on to what you believe your sanity is, what you believe your personality is, or your appropriate behavior is. Allow yourself to completely embody these feelings of grace and bliss, even if it's just a tiny, 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 subtle bliss. Dive into it. Leave everything else behind and dive into this bliss. Don't think about where it's going to take you or what you're leaving behind and if you can ever pick it back up again. Just be in the moment with the feeling. Let it overtake your mind and your heart and your body. Let it flood the entirety of your consciousness. And don't hang on to it. When it leaves, it leaves. When it comes, it comes. Now, there's more to the story than this. Who we are goes deeper than just these wonderful feelings of bliss and just the feelings of being alive. But you don't really need to know the rest of the story right now. it probably wouldn't help you. It's better to experience it for yourself, because no words can take you there. Your words build concepts, belief systems that become like clothes on your naked spirit. And some people have really nice clothes, spirit clothes. And some people have poor and tattered rags, like me. And some people make noises like this. That's the purring of truth. And it's also my cue to to just shut up and relax and feel. But first, I'd like to say how wonderfully sacred this place is to me, and how deeply I cherish each and every one of you for contributing to the feeling of sacredness here, for giving your hearts, for sharing the depths of who you are and the depths of your love. It's not easy to do. It's scary to do sometimes. But without having that courage, how can we connect with each other on such a deep level as we do here? So thank you, everybody. I bow my head and purr in gratitude to each and every one of you. I love you all so much, so deeply, so uniquely. And when I come here, it's like this wonderful soup of all these different flavors of love coming together in a buffet style smorgasbord It's very nourishing, very enriching, very edifying.